Hi everyone, so we're going to do a video today that is sort of like skincare dupes, even though none of them are dupes, because really in skincare it's hard to dupe something because then you start running into like legal issues of copying other people's formulas. So I think there's something to be said about the fact that there's really no such thing as a skincare dupe, and that means that, you know, you are going to get something unique when you buy a product. You are going to get something that's unlike anything else. It might be similar to something else, but it's still going to have an element to it that makes it different. Whether that difference is a good or a bad thing is sort of, you know, dependent on, you know, what the difference is, obviously. But I think skincare as a whole is really unique, and I think that's what makes it so special. So these products and their dupes are going to be more sort of in practice what results they provide that are similar enough to another product that costs less money that it's worth mentioning. You know, really it comes down to, this is pretty much a video of what, you know, two products that are really good, one is more expensive, one isn't. And if you notice my ear's red, I think it's because I was laying on it wrong. I don't know. I was laying down waiting for my battery to charge, and I probably... The first thing, I don't actually even have the real item. I have the dupe, I don't have the real item, because I sort of don't feel the need to buy it anymore. So the real product would be Bioderma Praline or Sensibio, I forget what it's called these days. And the dupe would be the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. This is such a good product, it's such a good price, it's such a good size bottle that I feel like there's really no need to spend the amount of money that I would on Bioderma. And I had used quite a few bottles of Bioderma before. I sort of really, I mean, I don't use this very often. I really don't do micellar water cleansers at all. If anything, it's just to take off eye makeup, or if I'm wearing a lot of sunscreen and a lot of makeup, then I'll do this first. But beyond that, there's not really a need for me to have a cleansing water. However, if you are someone who uses one, this is definitely worth checking out because it's, I mean, again, it performs just as well, if not better in some cases, than the Bioderma in my experience. So win-win for us and for Garnier and for anyone else who likes this, right? Okay, the only real dupe I can think of is Clinique Take the Day Off, the cleansing balm, versus the Estee Lauder micro cleansing balm or whatever. It's literally the same formula, except the Estee Lauder has fragrance in it, but Clinique is Estee Lauder, so that would make sense. But obviously the Clinique is going to be a lot less expensive and unfragranced, which in general tends to be a pretty good thing. So yeah, always go for the Clinique, woohoo! Unless you like the Estee Lauder, then more power to you. Okay, I'm gonna start with like the strongest dupes and move on to products that are just sort of similar. One of the strongest dupes that I think I've ever found is Sunday Riley Good Genes and the Earth Science Naturals AB Hydroxy Acid Night Rejuvenator. Now you can tell I've used both, right? You can tell I've used both, and that's a good thing, right? They are not the same formula, they're not even close, but what they do is similar enough that it's definitely worth mentioning. So Good Genes is completely lactic acid based, while the AB hydroxy acid, as it would suggest, has AHAs and BHAs. It's mainly glycolic with a little bit of lactic and I think like 0.5% of salicylic, so I wouldn't depend on this as just a lactic or salicylic exfoliant, but it is similar in texture in the sense that if I put this on my hand and I put Good Genes next to it, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell which one is which. Which one is which? You can't tell, right? Can you? Haha. So they're both like a lotiony exfoliating product. They're both, they both have a good pH of, you know, something that is going to actually provide a benefit to the skin in the sense that it allows the acid to work as an acid. Big picture of what it does is it's very similar. It's a resurfacing lotion. This is 105, this is about 25. So if you want to kind of experience with kind of like lotiony, serum-y exfoliants, and you don't want to spend the money on Good Genes, then go with the AB hydroxy acid from Earth Science. But as it stands, Good Genes is still my favorite. It's one of my favorite exfoliating products of all time, bar none. So if you want to splurge, it's not going to let you down, but worth mentioning. Next, we've got the BeautyRX Advanced 10% Exfoliating Pads, which I love. They are strong though, so I can use them maybe once a month. And that's not because I just, like, my skin can only be exfoliated once a month. It's, I do different exfoliants you know, on different days. So something this strong, I really have to kind of build up to it and then sort of take some time off afterwards. And the same thing is to be said for my skin, at least, for the Pixi Glow Peel Pads. Formula is not the same at all. These have alcohol, these don't. These have rose water, these don't. In practice, they're both really strong, really effective exfoliating pads. This is $70-something for 50 pads, and the Pixi's is $60 for around 20, or 60 pads for around $20-something. So, and obviously you can get this in Target. You can't get this in Target. Both are gorgeous, both are effective, but they do provide a very similar result on my skin that, you know, if you don't want to spend the money, Pixi for the win. Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist and the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. I mean, they're both milky mists, which essentially means that there's an emulsifier and water and oil in here. So it's sort of just a water-oil mixture. The Tatcha, my cap is split in 2 places. I don't love the mist, the pump, because it doesn't shoot out like an even mist and you sort of have to be really close. But I love it. It smells great. It's really nice and hydrating, especially if you have a drier skin. Same thing to be said for the Pixi, except the pump is much nicer on this, right, as you can see. Still smells good, but it's actually a bigger bottle and it's around 15, whereas this is 48 for 1.35 ounces, which is tiny. So if you want to kind of experiment with a milky mist and you don't want to spend the money, Pixi. All right, okay, another really great sort of dupe, if you will. Peter Thomas Roth Vis 1000 and the Hylamide Low-Molecular HA. I actually prefer the Hylamide because I think it has a Vis 1000, you kind of have to do quite a bit to get very much product. I mean, that's one pump and it, yes, it spreads, but it doesn't spread the way the Hylamide does. And the Hylamide has a ton of different forms of hyaluronic and hyaluronic precursors in different weights. And this one has sodium hyaluronate and a lot of other great ingredients like trace elements and that sort of thing. So it's a great formula, but just in practice, I think I like the Hylamide more. This one's 60 something and 65, and this is 20, so. The next is really not, it's not a dupe at all, but it is saying that I'm comparing 2 products that I think are great. One is a lot more affordable than the other. So the Indie Lee Swiss Apple Facial Serum and the Jordan Samuel Hydrate. So what this represents to me is these are both really great hydrating serums that have a little bit more to them. So this has the Swiss apple cells in it, which helps to reduce the signs of aging and that sort of thing. And then the Hydrate has vitamin C and peptides in it. So it's a hydrating serum that does a little bit more. This is 120 or 125 and this is 44. I've used a lot more of the Jordan Samuel, but I also have had it longer. So they're both really great formulas. But the main thing that I get out of both of them is hydration, to be totally honest. So both are people that I am proud to call my friends, which is like extra good. I love you guys, thank you. One of my most beloved products, the Lindstrom Skin, the Jasmine Garden, which I just have to take a moment and just... Now my cap split on this one too, which I'm not too happy about. I don't think I put my caps on with that much pressure, but I guess I do. The dupe for that is Josh Rosebrook Hydrating Accelerator. I basically just like to refer to this Josh Rosebrook as sort of a budget-friendly version of the Jasmine Garden. And I say that because both of these are beautiful, sort of aromatic, calming and hydrating mists, except this one is $60 and this one is $32 for a full 4 ounces. This is $60 for 3.4 ounces. So you do get more product in the Josh Rosebrook. And I love both of them, I mean, for different, not really for different reasons, but they're both beautiful. It just so happens that this one's more expensive than this. So if you wanted to kind of experience something that's similar to this, then the Josh Rosebrook is definitely a viable option that costs less money if you are worried about that. Yeah, they're both just really good formulas, so it's hard to say. I think that Paula's Choice C15 is kind of a dupe for CE Ferulic from SkinCeuticals, which I hope doesn't upset anyone. I think SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic is a great formula, but it's $160 for an ounce, and for as frequently as I go through vitamin C products, it's just not money that I'm willing to spend, and I've gotten such great results with C15 that it's like, why bother? I have done a blog review on this, so I'll link that below. But I also wanted to mention the C Firma from Drunk Elephant, which this is the old packaging. Mine's empty, so I'm just keeping it for blogging purposes, but this is such a solid vitamin C formula. I don't think that these are comparable in any way, shape, or form, except for the fact that they both have vitamin C at 15%, you know, ascorbic acid nonetheless. They both have other good things added to them. The one thing that I found is this one dries me out and this one doesn't as much. So both are great formulas. This one is just $49 and this is $90, so you know. And then the last product, which really is not a dupe whatsoever, but I think they do provide a similar function on the skin, and that is Sunday Riley Ceramic Slip and the Kale Detox from Pacifica. I say that because both of them have clay in them. This has bentonite and kaolin. This has French green clay and Moroccan Rasoul clay. This, I mean, obviously the clays in here are a little bit more advanced, a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more high quality, and do more than just absorb oil. But they're both gels that contain some type of clay in them. So if you're just on the oilier side and you just kind of want a good daily wash to kind of control oil, these are both great options. I actually prefer Ceramic Slip. I think it gives more immediate benefits, but I do love the Kale Detox as well. I bought all of the Pacifica cleansers, and this is one of 2 that I actually kept, that I actually thought was worth any sort of attention or time. So I do prefer Ceramic Slip, but I think this is still a great option if you want to save a little bit of money. So that was it. I mean, that was really pushing it too. I mean, comparing these two is grapefruit to watermelon. I mean, you can't do it, but they're both fruit, so they are going to give you that, satisfy that sweet craving that you might have. I don't know. I think that the thing about all the products here is they're all gorgeous on their own, but when you compare it to other products that just sort of provide a similar scent or experience or texture or result on the skin, that it's definitely something worth mentioning. I do fully believe in investing in good skincare, but I also know that if you can save money in any way, shape, or form, do it, right? I mean, having a hobby like this is like, oh my God, my poor bank account. She's like, stop it, I can't take it anymore, stop it. So if you have any other dupes that you would like to mention, and we say dupes, right, in quotations, then please leave them below. I'm sure it would be helpful to all of you guys who watch my videos, and me as well, and I look forward to reading them. So if there's no other questions, then I'll talk to you guys really soon. Bye.